Hello, my two, and editing welcome with wife. I now with more randomness. My name's the Hooded Philosopher, and that was really hard to do, but I'm here with Cheesy Loops.
Hi.
What do you think of that, Cheesy Loops?
Did you have a stroke?
That was really hard to do. Needlessly difficult. All right. Well, we have the story of this character that started with that is a fae that lives in the real world and has designs on this fulfilling a prophecy.
Yes.
Being the one to do it.
And we have a doggo. Is it doggo time?
It's doggo time because we have treats here for the doggo to keep her nice, cute little attention. And she gets treats while we read stories.
A prolonged treat.
She is grateful.
She is
Or this one.
not.
This one is a sweet one.
This one is a sweet one. All right. Chapter 2. A horror most foul. It is a common understanding that the fae is another. Ooh, let's get into read mode.
You went into that really fast. I didn't even realize it was happening. Okay.
It is a common understanding that the fae is another creation of the same being that made the humans. They did, however, imbue them with the uncanny ability to manipulate the magic found in the inherent.
The found. Oh no. Yeah. Sorry. Found in the inherent improbability of the universe.
Oh, keep reading.
I'm going to go ahead and leave that little mark there because there's something to be said about that for sure.
Okay.
That makes sense though, right? The sentence.
More so.
Okay.
Found in the inherent probability of the universe. Continue reading the sentences.
Yeah.
Humans were animals. The fae world was an inherent spirit, not
Itinerant.
itinerant. Okay.
Does that need to be translated for anyone? For you?
Later.
You think it should be? Okay.
Later. Fae world is an itinerant spirit, not trapped in form and sensation, guided by understanding and the will of the divine arcane. That's to say, they were given an incredibly uncanny ability that made them superior to humans in every way. They were never animals killing one another in violent displays. No one fae has ever once harmed another fae. At least none were recorded in the great records that dated back to before Pangea slipped away. These ancient beings that dance the waltz with human history have the unique ability to ignore what we humans call reality. With it, they shape and mold humans like a younger sibling, gently guiding them deeper into the magics that the humans dip their toes into when their technological advancement could peak. Ooh, hair. Suppose the fae was like the other... Ooh,
Older.
Yes. Suppose the fae was like the older sibling. As time passes, we see humans grow. Wars have stopped. They have begun to grow and have... Can you just highlight that whole sentence? They have begun to grow? Yeah, just highlight that whole sentence.
Oh, you're right. That is a weird writing. Yeah. Get that figured out.
Jonathan Glimmer Gray was a proud fae. He was sitting at his desk, eating a salad. Glint casually walked into the room holding a bag of cheeseburgers and sat across from him. He opened the bag and opened one of the cheeseburgers, saying, "Ember wanted you to know that your dear Eleanor has signed up for some personal training. That could be your in. She's a dancer. What does she need a personal trainer for?" Glimmer thought aloud. She said she wanted to bulk up, something about an acting gig. An acting gig. Maybe it's because of creeps coming up to her. Maybe it's because of creeps coming up to her in coffee shops. Or maybe it's because she wants to get stronger. Like Ember said, she said.
Get stronger, like Ember said. Yeah.
Like Ember said, she said.
Yeah. Does that follow?
It follows,
It's
but...
just a little wordy.
Highlight
We'll
it for
figure
me.
it out. We'll get that word salad figured out.
Glint said before he bit into a cheeseburger. It was a mess, but Glint had laid some napkins down. No, that's not a good idea. She'll just assume I leer at the women. I could be a cook at the next restaurant she goes to. Did you take care of the boyfriend? A large glob of various sauces dripped out of the sandwich and fell into a napkin on Glint's chest. He finished the bite before explaining, "Don't worry, boss. Ember's got a plan. Turns out he hasn't been faithful to her." Glint took a drink from a cup. "What an awful man." Glimmer finished his bite and then asked, "What is her family life like?" Her father was proud of her gymnastic career, but when she tore that ligament, her move to acting did not impress him. The mother is that typical passive, supportive type that doesn't have much to say.
Got ahead of me. There you go. Sorry about that.
Scroll.
No, siblings. That was the last.
Oh, is that the next one?
She is inquiring further. Ooh, inquiring.
Siblings? Glimmer questioned further. One brother. One. Oh, wow. Okay.
That needs a comma.
One. A younger brother. Not much to say.
Or even
He's a guard at the prison colony on the moon. He has 2 years left. He took a large bite. So a dancer and an actor. A woman of many arts, Glimmer mused, putting the rest of his salad in the trash. He was going to have an early dinner. He stood up and walked over to the large bookshelf by a window, took down a book that looked as old as time. Finally, after all these endless years, our dear friend's wish will finally come true. He opened the book. Ancient handwriting covered the page. She has a friend. Her name is Frankie, a rather loud hairdresser. He finished his burger, and after taking a drink, he reached into the bag, retrieving another. I went in today. She's quite good. I think it would work well if something innocuous was stolen from her. I could be the detective that comes to her side, Glimmer mused as he put the book back onto the shelf. She has a cat. Maybe it disappears, Glint said before taking a big bite of his next burger. I don't think it would look good if the creep from the coffee shop had her cat, Glimmer vetoed. Her grandmother's necklace. I'll slip in and grab it when I'm done with this. He held up his burger. Did she love her grandmother? Glimmer asked, genuinely curious. Da 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 da.
Oh.
You're having too... Oh, she did. They would play games and talk together to pass the time. Good. Make it happen. Glint walked out of the room after throwing away the detritus of his meal. Glimmer walked over to the window and thought quietly to himself, which he seems to do a lot. He likes his window.
He's pensive. And this character, I was trying to channel Garrick. And Garrick does that. He likes to be pensive sometimes and think in isolation. Mm-hmm. And he likes to do that with stitching clothing together, but that's different. And if anyone's curious, it's Star Trek. It's Deep Space Nine in particular.
All right, so this last little bit, other than some punctuation issues, this one's fairly well. So scroll up to our next spread.
Well, actually, I wanted to talk about the ending here.
Okay.
So, I'm thinking... Okay, you know that the Dragon of Prophecy wrote this prophecy. What you don't know is he's dying for the prophecy. Which, when a dragon dies, is not a good thing. Okay. That kind of power vacuum is dangerous. And gods can slip in and really cause chaos outside of a human understanding. You know, out in the galaxy and stuff.
Okay.
So, I need to infuse more of that into that book. Right? And so I'm thinking that maybe before he goes to the window and thinks quietly, he looks at the book.
If you could put it right before he says good, make it happen, like he's thinking about that.
Or I could say it here that Glint said it to a distracted him staring at the bookshelf. Okay. That way it fits in and the dialogue kind of continues like that.
Yeah.
Flows. Okay. So, that's the wrong button. Ba-doop. Okay. Where were we? Right here. I'm going to say... What do you call it when you kind of lose focus?
Disassociate?
No, like when your eyes just kind of glaze over and you're not really paying attention to your vision. But your vision is still active, but you're not like...
Daydreaming?
It's not as active as that. It's more like... How do I say this? You know how you can focus your eyeballs on specific things?
Yeah.
And you can just defocus entirely?
Yeah.
What's that?
Defocusing.
So he's doing that kind of at the bookshelf.
Okay.
Like he's got something else going on in his head and it has to do with that bookshelf, right?
Yeah.
Are you following?
Yeah, I'm following. I just don't know what word you're looking for.
Like zoned out, maybe we say. Right? Well, that's common lingo.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a
zoning
little
out,
more.
but zoning out requires hearing to go too, and he's not really disfocused with his hearing.
No,
he's
he's listening.
His visual is just...
Staring off into the void.
Yeah.
Staring off, but he's not staring off into the void into the bookshelf. That's the problem. There's something there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He mumbled it. Maybe he mumbles the next line.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just staring idly at a bookshelf. Oops. Okay. Is this a comma? Oh, that's the wrong screen. Okay. So... do that and that. Now, we're going to put... Ooh, where'd it go?
Good girl. Give me a high five. Give me a high five. Give me a high five. Hey, give me a high five. Give me a high five. Give me a high five.
She says, no more.
Give me a high five.
Okay. And here, this is where I wanted to accentuate the book again, because it wasn't right here in the... Sorry, my mouse is all messed up. It wasn't right here. It was that I wanted to remember this, because I was thinking that before he puts it back onto the shelf, right? Oh, oops. That was just another thing. So he could, like... Okay. Thank you for fixing that. Grammarly.
Hey.
Okay. Oh, what is that? Oh, God, double D. My deep key is all messed up for some reason.
Did you spill something on it recently?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
It's right here. So it's like the middle of the keyboard. I don't know how this stuff works, though.
We'll have to clean your keyboard.
What's a comma?
Yeah, that's a comma.
It's a comma. I'm surprised Grammarly. Or colon, maybe?
No.
No, because if it was more than one, you would use a colon. But really, it's just the one. Okay. And this one I thought inquired.
Yeah, inquired is a good one.
I feel better.
Pressed further is a good one too.
Is the burger settled enough into your head how he was eating it, kind of through the talking? Like he was just horfing it down while he was talking? Yeah. Okay.
Like I did my burger today because I was dripping out of my burger too.
That was good.
It was a good burger.
Okay, this is that.
Like Ember
poorly said.
mentioned, she said.
Well, it's more like, what if we did this and just brought that to there for a second and said...
Just playing with your frisbees.
Then...
Or maybe it's like Ember said. she wants to get stronger.
Like directly quoting what the idea in my head that maybe I should say aloud, or maybe I should put in the book.
Yeah.
Is that Ember? What's the word? Became the clerk at a. What do they call?
Oh, at like a
workout place. Yeah, and saw her doing it and had a conversation with her like as the gym attendant, and learned this information. Like she can just warp reality to make herself that person. So this is not magic in the strictest sense.
Right.
It's something different than that.
I've always worked here. What are you talking about?
Okay, so we can leave that like that. Or maybe it's like Ember said, she wants to get stronger. And then it's Glent said.
Yeah,
Let's fix that. That was a lot of said.
Yeah.
Commented. It was like almost like lazily said, you know?
Or almost sarcasm too.
Yeah.
That feels like a little bit sarcasm. Like it could be this, it
like
could be
shot,
this, or it could be what she said.
Shot back before he bit into the cheeseburger. Like
okay.
he says it and then
Yeah.
you know, it's like in one fluid motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go brush your pretty paws. It's right here. It didn't go far.
Oh, okay, now this is the one that you commented the hardest on. So they have begun to grow.
Read it out loud to yourself. Read it out
So,
loud.
well, what I'm noticing is that I think what's happening, now that I realize where I am, is that can go there, and this is a more extended sentence. So, suppose the Fae were an older sibling.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Let me just get through this, like, chain of thought that's leading here.
Well,
if they were an
I
older
want you to
sibling,
read that sentence.
Well, before I do that, let me get through the thought, because I think it's more expanded than I'm got on the page, and I want to expand it out in my mind.
Okay.
So the suppose the humans are the Fae are like an older sibling to humans, because back in Pangea they had an awareness of the universe and an ability to manipulate through nature some way, right? Outside of whatever else they live in, that Fae world.
Yeah.
And so they're popping in different generations of these human lifetimes, right? And seeing how they're growing and then trying to help them do the right thing most of the time. Some of them don't.
Okay.
Of course, not all Fae are wonderful Fae, but
yeah.
they're Fae. What are you going to do? It's like humans. Not all humans are great. And so they're following through time, and then about the Victorian era, before technology really got a hold, the Fae dropped off. They set down a decree that made it so that the barrier between the Fae world, and the existence, or Earth, reality as we call it, that no one will transgress it anymore. But something happened in the story that will come up later with Glimmer and why he's here.
Right.
But that barrier was set, and now the last kind of Fae you hear about is the vampires. They came in and tried to teach something. They maybe got a little gluttonous with their stuff, and maybe they were trying to teach a moral lesson in a bad way, but they were doing it.
Yeah.
I guess it's not necessarily good. I don't know if I'm trying to paint them as good at all. Oh, like purely good. The killing of a Fae is a lot harder than the killing of a human, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was I saying here? They have begun to grow and they've begun to share is specifically talking about Earth, right?
Yeah, but
okay,
yes, but
that's not.
You just read that sentence, not how it's typed.
Yeah.
That was my hang-up.
I know, but it's just poorly said too.
Shake it. Shake it. Shake it. Shakes. You're the head. You got her all nice, brushed out and pretty, and now she won't shake her fur back. Shake it. Shake it. Shake. Shake. Shake it. Why won't you shake your head? Huh? Shake your head. Shake your head. Good girl. Oh, you're killing
Okay,
my
okay.
leg.
I think I figured it out. Let me try that.
Okay.
I just need to do the grammar stuff.
Do the grammar stuff.
That's really just spelling. Okay.
Ba-doop. Don't care. Suppose the Fae was like an older sibling. As time passes, we see humans grow. Wars have stopped. They have begun to grow in their ethical understanding. They have begun to share the power that is so desperately needed by the individual. Much better.
There's something missing one more place here. Let's just dig into this one more time, because the idea here is that they have begun to share the power that is so desperately needed by the individual. That's a representation of, like, money.
Uh-huh.
Power that is needed. Or fame. A power that is needed by the individual.
Yeah.
So we've cleaned that problem out. Everyone has the power they need. Everyone has the any kind of power they need. Any kind of power. This is not a specific power. It's almost too philosophical. Oh. But that's what I'm going for. They have begun to grow in their ethical understanding of what is what I'm trying to get at.
I don't know. What have they begun to grow in their ethical understanding?
Of the inherent evil behind the acts of individuals. This is individual based, isn't it? Okay, these are super complicated sentences.
Is compa?
Super complicated sentence. That's what I'm trying to complicate things. Complicated. I complicated it. That's what the problem is. Okay. Whoop.
They have begun to grow in their ethical understanding of the inherent evils of the individual. They have begun to share the power that is so desperately needed by the individual. The Tay.
Is the individual maybe too much? Because what I am trying to say is something kind of specific.
No, it's not too much.
I was writing recently in a book, in my next book, and I did the same thing. Her genuine smile brought him genuine happiness. And I doubled the genuine there on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a cause and effect thing.
There are times in which duplicating the word is not going to be a big issue.
But here I'm feeling maybe there's a better way to state this without using the theys and the individuals. So...
I mean, the only thing you would replace it with was humans, but we
independent mind. What about that? Understanding of the inherent evils of the independent mind.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Oh my goodness, this is too lofty.
Too lofty.
But I can't even spell.
The independent mind.
Dang, these double D's. Dent. Okay, I probably spelled it wrong. It's fine. Fix it, computer. Do the fixing. Okay. So they have begun to grow in their ethical understanding of the inherent evils of the independent mind. What does that sentence say to you? I'm trying to be very careful with my wording and very specific with it. I need to make sure it comes across that way.
It seems like what you're trying to get at mostly is that they started realizing how individual people's strive for power was corrupting them. Instead of looking at the whole, they were looking at their own selves.
Yes, a lot of this bringing it back to the individual.
Yeah.
So in their ethical understanding, they understood the inherent evils. We see what's going on, and we understand that it's an independent mind, and we can work through that with that base understanding. We don't do that now, right? That's not judge, right?
That's not judge.
That's not judging. That's not judgment. How am I saying this? That's not the legal system I'm describing, is it? Okay, it's a little further than that. Good. And then they have begun to share the power that is so desperately needed by the individual. That's saying resources covered. We're not doing that anymore. There's no worry about resources. Yeah. It's a really high-minded concept that is needed to understand that we are in the future.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be the future, guys. So, okay.
All right, let's scroll.
And then we have the top.
Oh, not bad.
This is of. Or on. No, found.
You just wanted to talk more about that.
Oh, okay. So this is a big sentence. They did, however, imbue them with an uncanny ability to manipulate the magics found in the inherent improbability of the universe. A little bit of a zig in that, isn't there?
There's a lot of zig in that.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. So, where were we?
Gross. However,
What does that sentence say? What is it saying? Make sure I'm
they did, however, imbue them with an uncanny ability to manipulate the magic found in the inherent improbability of the universe. What is the inherent improbability of the universe? Okay, so
No, let me just preface this by saying I'm not a mathematician, right?
Uh-huh.
So if I'm putting this on YouTube, don't take this as the word.
right.
Go look at this stuff yourself. I'm interested in it too. But we have found that it's hard to say that the barrier is different now between the small and the large. We found this strange ending to it, right? Where it comes down to so small that we can't look any smaller.
Okay.
The quirks and the boundaries of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And when we look in there, we start to see properties that don't feel right. Like specifically in light.
Okay.
You shine a beam of light into a slit. And the idea is if it was like a particle, it would hit the slit and then drop in.
Uh-huh.
Regardless of whether it bounced or not. However, if it was like a wave, it would hit it and then you would see the wave pattern because of the way it's splitting off or whatever. I'm not a mathematician.
Yeah.
And we're just getting into this idea that the smaller you go, the more it ceases to really be talking about the physical and start be talking about the probabilistic of what could be. And that's kind of like, it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. We're becoming at all times. Something's happening down there at that base level. And it's not something we can understand. Yes, I don't know what I'm saying.
Right.
But I'm using the idea that inherently in this universe we run on probability.
Uh-huh.
It's possible that anything can happen is a perfectly reasonable statement.
Uh-huh.
And in that is the magic that the humans have accessed through technology.
Okay.
So that's what we've done. The Fae had it from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
They had the ability to telepathically communicate to that kind of stuff, but they had no corporeal form.
I see.
So they had this big gift, but no way to truly impact the world until they found a way to exit the journey into the existence. This is a lot. Thank you for paying attention. If you're still with me, are you following it all? Yeah, that's. And I'm trying to avoid doing that with big fancy sentences. So,
Magic!
the creator imbued an uncanny ability into the Fae that to manipulate the magic found in the inherent improbability of the universe. They don't live in the universe. This isn't another dimension.
Right.
This is probability. It's an imagination space.
Why do you keep saying probability when you use the words improbability?
Because it's probability or improbability. It's referencing the same.
But you're not explaining improbability. You're explaining probability, which most people know probability. It probably will happen. It probably will
That's
not.
kind of what I'm getting at.
Well, what's an improbability? Is that the probable and then probably not?
You know. Why don't we Google the concept real quick? Because I am genuinely curious too. Don't judge my taste in YouTube videos. Okay, and that's just white text. I hate that. All right, blog. Stop it. Thank you. Okay.
Improbability. Oh, improbable versus probable. which gives us the answer of D means something is unlikely to happen or to be true. Probable means something was likely to happen.
The same thing.
It is probable and not probable.
Yes, all things are probable and not probable, but only once you crack open the egg do you find out what it is.
So it's
superposition in quantum physics.
So go back to your words real quick for me. Thank you. Found in the inherent improbability of the things that might not happen in the universe. Okay.
Yes, so it's not likely that the Fae are going to exist, but they do in that improbability. That's the magic.
That's okay.
And you can also tap into this improbability or probability or however you want to state it by creating a story, right? A thing that could happen.
Yeah.
So in that way, I'm stating that writing is a magic.
Uh-huh.
I am doing something. I'm creating something from nothing by writing. And it may be like similar to some other things, but it's not. It's not the same. It's brand new, just like magic. Like if a witch or a wizard were that's not it. If a wizard were like to create a table filled with food in front of him.
Uh-huh.
Creating a story is just like that. You got to put the words to the page, and you've done the magic.
Okay. No,
So,
that makes more sense now.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at. But they can do it. They have access to that improbability in their journey. So none of that should make a whole lot of sense in the journey. Stuff shouldn't all be very clear. It should be improbable and confusing. So get ready, because this can be kind of maybe a bit too much.
I will tell you.
And I think that this could change real quick by deleting the however, because I can say, oh, that's not, I don't want all of it. I just want this word. Stop it. Okay. Nope.
The creator did imbue them.
So it's common understanding that the Fae is another creation of the same being that made the humans. The creator imbued them with an that's better. Creator imbued them with an uncanny ability to manipulate the magics found in the inherent improbability of the universe. So inherently things are improbable. You can't control that.
All right, before we finish.
My goodness. It is. What? Go ahead. Sorry, I shouldn't.
What's itinerant?
Oh, wandering. Itinerant farmer, or not farmer, itinerant merchant maybe is a good way of saying it.
What are you doing?
I'm putting, I don't know what I'm doing. That's the wrong screen.
Yeah.
Let's Google it and make sure we use words that we understand and clear about it.
Itinerant. Hey, you did look it up. It's the fourth one down.
I just because it's there doesn't mean I looked it up.
No, there was another one you did earlier. It was purple, meaning you selected it. An itinerant is a person who travels from place to place, usually for work. For example, an itinerant preacher might move from a new community every few years. Itinerant can also refer to travelers or itinerant groups in Europe. Why would you...
Does this make sense, though?
Yeah,
It makes sense what
yeah.
they're saying? So these are spirits that are itinerant in the universe. There is no rule of how they get to and where from.
Yeah.
Today's random, I guess. I'm just going to say whatever random words I choose. I really nailed it with that intro. Okay. Okay, so the idea is they're wandering spirits in the universe, and some of them have kind of coalesced around Earth. And at that same time, Earth started to grow humans, and then the Fae found their way into the existence from their journey and made a connection to the humans and realized that there's this young little animal thing that's doing something that the animals don't normally do on this in this existence thing. They found this other life form. So you see what I'm trying to do?
Yeah.
I have turned the Fae into aliens. Aliens that don't look like us, that don't act like us, that don't exist in our existence.
Uh-huh.
That's my goal here. And we're going to just clash these two things together at the end. Existence and reality and all that, and just imagination and just random.
Yay!
And here we go. So let's call it there. I could talk forever about this.
Yes, you could.
And you can notice again the Divine Arcane makes an appearance.
Uh-huh.
Very important in all of my writing. The Divine Arcane is going to be there somewhere.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. I think it's going to be nice. All right. Thank you for watching.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to Testing with My Test.
Ha,
The
cold.
puppy is eating ice.
Ha, cold.
And then she has her 3 dog treats for this whole podcast. She can have 3 of them, or 3 of them.
That was cold.
Why are you doing this to me? Okay, thank you. Bye.